In an age where big studio blockbusters seem actively disinterested in any sort of coherence, Rupert Sanders' Scarlett Johansson-led live-action adaptation of Ghost in the Shell feels downright revolutionary. The film has been mired in controversy ever since it was announced that Johansson was cast in the lead role instead of an actress of Asian descent. And while it certainly won't win over those who enter the theater with their minds already made up, it's a satisfying and slickly made sci-fi romp. The plot is simple enough. Scarlett Johansson stars as Major, a former human whose ghost or soul has been infused with a cyber-enhanced shell, and she spends her day serving as a counterterrorism agent for a government-subsidized company called Hanka Robotics. Over the past few years, Johansson has apparently staked her claim as the go-to actress for seductive but lethal humanoid who is grappling with what it really means to be human roles, and Ghost in the Shell affords her another opportunity to explore similar thematic terrain. This role even has echoes of Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation, in which Johansson plays a woman in Japan on a journey of self-discovery. Cutter, the antagonistic CEO of Hanka, notes at the outset, "I don't think of her as a machine, she's a weapon," effectively dehumanizing Major and reducing her to just another cog in his bloated corporate machine. Serving as an empathetic foil to this hard-nosed CEO is Dr. Ouellette, a scientist who was instrumental in helping create Major, and is played with a striking sense of compassion by Juliette Binoche. Ouellette is a maternal figure to Major and recognizes her basic humanity underneath all the wires and coils, and the dynamic between them is easily one of the most dramatically compelling aspects in the film. Major is going about her daily routine when suddenly a new threat to Hanka appears on the horizon in the form of a disgruntled cyborg named Kuze, whose end goal is to destroy both the company and anyone affiliated with it. Major is assigned to hunt him down, but the further she goes in pursuit of him, the more she begins to realize what's really going on. She starts to unearth conspiracies and wrestles with the issue identity, as her real backstory comes to light and her perception of the company, the world, and who she really is reframed entirely. The film offers plenty of intrigue, but never overwhelms the audience with plot points and smartly shifts its emphasis on the sleek visuals, action set pieces, and the killer techno soundtrack from the ever-reliable Clint Mansell, all of which elevate the bare-bones story to another level entirely. Screenwriters Moss, Wheeler, and Kruger do acquit themselves in regard to the controversy surrounding Johansson's casting, effectively reconfiguring the story in such a way that the film ends up being an unequivocal condemnation of whitewashing. Of course, whether or not this is a good enough justification for Johansson's casting ultimately depends on your personal opinion, but it certainly makes sense within the context of the story. An obvious point of comparison in respect to the world building is Blade Runner, both of them sharing an effortlessly cool cyberpunk aesthetic and portrayal of a technology-obsessed culture, even if Ghost in the Shell is nowhere near as ambitious or smart. Many have complained that the film dilutes the original anime's more cerebral and philosophical ideas by exchanging them for a lazy kind of dime store existentialism, but at the end of the day, a movie even attempting to grasp at big ideas is more than can be said for many other films in this modern blockbuster landscape. As the film reaches its conclusion, Sanders serves up a final set piece that is a bit underwhelming and could have benefited from a larger sense of scale, but it's not inconsistent with the more character-oriented compactness of the film's story. Ghost in the Shell may have fallen victim to negative press and gotten buried underneath all the think pieces and sensational cries of whitewashing, but it's one of the most visually and orally thrilling blockbusters to come down the pipe in some time, and it's well worth seeing.